often use this as an example. The kindest person, the most warm-hearted person I ever met was worried about not being kind enough, and I observed this as a pattern. And bodybuilders are often worried about not being big enough. University lecturers are insecure about their intellect. Workaholics are worried that they're not doing enough. And often you get these people, if you gave a scholar or a bodybuilder an extra hour in the day, they'd devote that to the thing that they're already good at. And there's reasons for that. And I'm saying this as a preamble because often as meditators we're extremely calm, extremely easily satisfied and patient compared to the average person, and we should certainly not worry about that being a deficit. So for me to talk today about patience, I wanted to give that preamble. We don't need to worry about if we're being patient enough, because I think we might not be as patient as possible, or we can certainly develop, but we certainly should see ourselves as good enough in that respect. And I'm not saying this as a way for us to find another stick to beat ourselves with, because goodness knows we've got enough other people trying to do that to us, and we've got enough of our sticks of our own. But I wanted to talk about patience and reframe it as a concept, because I don't entirely fall out with the idea that patience is a virtue, but today I heard probably the angriest statement I've heard someone make, and that was, I think I've been patient long enough. And if anyone's ever been in a room where those words are uttered, that person is quite agitated. So for me, the idea of patience can have a negative connotation, like enduring, and while there's a time and a place to endure the unpleasant and to knuckle down, and it's certainly been a good skill I've had in certain situations. The idea of patience being something to endure with gritted teeth for longer than other people, like we're trying to keep our hand in either boiling or freezing water longer than the people around us to win some sort of medal is an unhealthy way to look at patience. Enduring the unpleasant is still unpleasant, but if we refrain whatever we're doing as in a more positive way, rather than we're being patient in a waiting room with all of those horrible connotations of waiting, rather than we can be relaxing in a quiet room. That's a lot more. I prefer to relax in a quiet room than be a patient in a waiting room. And moving away from this idea of giving ourselves this medal as being patient, and rather than giving ourselves this medal of enduring, reframing whatever we're doing as something that has at least a small positive aspect. So we could be waiting for horrible news on a comfy chair, and we can sit and enjoy the comfy chair rather than be impatient. We can listen to other people's problems, and we can be frustrated, but we don't have to endure these things. We can just reframe our mind, and it's not to say it's possible in every situation, and it's not to say I've got a formula, but whenever we're bored or feeling that word patience coming up in our in our inner monologue, we can maybe use that as a trigger to say, oh, can I reframe this patience, this into something else, depending on the situation. And for me, that actually helped me become more patient, because if I was in a waiting room after 30 seconds, I was being patient and gritting my teeth, and I'd been patient for long enough, and I'm sure I've said I've been patient for long enough, and it's only been 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes of me being quote unquote patient, when we know we can I'll imagine some old Thai monk just sitting there watching us grit our teeth while we're being patient, while he's just sitting enjoying watching pigeons outside or something else, and having a really good time. So this is more me being an impatient. My lessons that I've learnt of being an impatient person looking for patience. The way I've developed patience is by not being patient, and by not distracting myself, but reframing my mind, reframing the context in which I am in that present moment. Hopefully that sort of makes sense. It's not written rules or a guide for life. I'm far short of being able to produce anything like that, but hopefully what I've said today can be elaborated on by people more eloquent than me in the room. So thank you.